Welcome.
Mm, mm.
Welcome. Week 4 of the Picks Podcast. I'm your host, Matt. This is my co host, Kyle. We're going to talk some football
Hola.
today. Real
We love
quick,
football.
I want to apologize to everybody for last week. My laptop microphone somehow was enabled during last stream.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, womp. Uh, Effectively doubling my audio and making it extremely hard to listen to. So that's my fault. I'm gonna take some blame for that. This is like my first time streaming, so like I'm really trying to like get the hang of everything and make sure everything just sounds and looks like presentable for you guys. So still working on it. Appreciate you guys bearing with me. But we do have people QCing in the comments right now. Thank you, Liz. Appreciate it. So, and I do have my live chat open now. So, if any of you guys want to comment while we're going about our business, feel free to do so. We will interact with you. Kyle Brady,
Yay.
8-8
Yay.
again. What am I doing?
Get fucked 10-6.
What am I doing wrong here? Like,
Clearly, you're just not good at this.
bro, like one apparently, like I hype myself up. I've been doing this for 6 years now. I've picked every game for the last 6 years and counting, and I've got 3 straight weeks 8-8. What am I doing? I mean, what are some of these close ones? When are some of these close ones going to go my way, though? I mean, come on. There were like 4-score games I lost this week, and it's just,
Damn.
it ain't it. I had some bad beats, too. Like, I had a 5-way touchdown parlay, and all I needed was James Cook and Saquon. Saquon had 3 carries at the 2-yard line and did not score. James Cook got to the 1-yard line, and then they brought in Ty Johnson for some reason, and they gave him the touchdown. That would have turned into, I believe, it was $1,100 on like a $10 bet. Ugh. Bad.
Ugh.
And then I needed one Diggs catch too. I had a 4-way same game parlay that would have netted me $350 on a $20 bet. Really bad beats. But 3-0 in fantasy, so I guess you win some, you lose some.
Yep.
Real quick before we jump into the action, I do want to talk about the news from roughly 3 hours ago. Per Mike Garafolo and Ian Rappaport on Twitter, Davante Adams has formally requested a trade from the Las Vegas Raiders. Nothing is imminent as of now, but it's going to be a very interesting situation to watch these next couple of weeks.
Oh boy.
Any speculations?
Oh boy.
What are you thinking?
Dude, I think this is nuts. As a Devontae Adams fantasy owner in one of my 4-0 fantasy leagues, I'm very interested to see where he goes.
I too am an owner. 2 leagues, 2 out of 3. So I'm very interested in seeing where he goes as well. I think you mentioned to me off the air the Jets, maybe.
I think the Jets make the most sense because if you're like looking through
Little
the
reunion.
teams. Ooh, just trying to check something. Anyway, if you're looking through the teams that like probably need a wide receiver, obviously the Chiefs, Rashee Rice, probably out for the year with the torn ACL.
That's what I was thinking.
Absolutely no way the Raiders will ever trade to the Chiefs Devontae Adams. They would never do that.
No, that's the thing though,
I mean,
because it's like
I'd be shocked.
that's the thing.
I'd basically be handing them the Super Bowl.
Is like those interdivision trades just like they never happen. They almost never happen in the NFL.
No,
in my opinion. And like we're talking about like we're not even talking about like Joe Schmo. We're not talking about like some guy. We're talking about Davante Adams. So like the odds that he goes to the Chiefs are very low in my opinion. I agree with you. It does make sense probably for both teams. Like I think the Raiders could probably use like an edge rusher or something. But I don't think it's going to happen.
Maybe Hassan Reddick?
Maybe. Ooh.
Seems to make some sense here.
Wait a minute. That actually I could play actually.
That could play.
Interesting.
Eagles can't get him back. I don't know if you saw Matt, but like there's a rule that you can't trade back. You can't trade for a player that you traded away within 2 years.
I didn't know that. Like
I didn't know that either. I don't think anybody knew that.
I guess it makes sense, but like I didn't know that was a thing. I really didn't.
No takesy backs. It's the no takesy backsy rule.
Yeah, apparently. Um, all
No
right,
takesy backs.
let's get into the action here. We'll start in order here. We'll start
Thursday night football.
Thursday night football. Cowboys go to
The
Jersey.
missed field goal that killed the KBTs before it even began. Granted, we'll go to Buffalo later, but
Well, yeah, I was gonna
fuck.
say. Cowboys 20, Giants 15. Cowboys take it down in East Rutherford. I thought Jones played okay. Like everyone, it's it's
Bless you.
it's it's weird because it's like, oh my
Bless
gosh,
you. He's sneezing.
I heard it. I heard it. Um, a lot of people are saying like Jones played okay. In my opinion, he really didn't.
No, he was check down Jones all over the
Like he
place.
had a very high completion percentage. He didn't take too many risks, but like, dude, downfield, like 20 plus yards. Oh my God, was he atrocious?
Yep.
Like, I think he missed something like I saw at least 3 touchdowns that he missed potentially, like
Yeah.
3 downfield shots. Um, yeah, he's like, I think he's just at this point like a bona fide game manager. He's not a game changer. He's a game manager, in my opinion. And
Yes.
I think the Giants are only going to go as far as he takes them. I'm completely sold on Malik Neighbors though, 100%.
Dude, he is a stud
He
muffin.
he
Oh
is
my
him.
lord.
He is him.
Oh
Like,
my lord. He is
um,
their entire offense right now.
now he did get the concussion unfortunately at the end of the game there, and
Yeah,
it
that was
sucks
sad
too
to
because
see.
he had that ball. He had that ball. I think he just got knocked out when he hit the ground,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But he had that ball. That was actually a good ball by Jones. I actually thought that was probably one of his better balls of the night.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I was listening to the radio the other day and I heard something very interesting that like the Giants just like don't run the ball effectively, and it had me thinking like, why is that? And I think it has a lot to do with like the tight end situation. Like like Dallas the whole night didn't have to like respect any of their tight end play. Like they don't really have a guy there. So like when they line up in like 12 personnel, like one running back, 2 tight ends, you know it's most likely going to be a run because they're not they don't have playmakers at the tight end position, A, and B, they don't really target their tight ends. So it's like you wonder why the run game doesn't really work. That's probably a big reason. I think they have to get the tight ends involved more.
That's a fair point there. I think
Um,
also they're really missing Saquon Barkley as well.
well, yeah, I mean
I think Devin
yeah.
Singletary is a decent back, but he's no Saquon.
That yeah, that'll also play into that as well.
I really do think though, like the Giants are probably gonna go quarterback, obviously in this draft class.
Yeah.
I haven't really looked too much into it, but like, really the Giants, I feel like if they have like if they get a guy, get their guy, they're not that far off from like contending at least for like the NFC East and the playoffs.
Well,
Like their
well,
pass rush is really good. I mean, they didn't really do that much against the Cowboys. Credit to the
yeah.
Cowboys O line, but they were like throwing quick passes all game.
Yeah, I mean the
Um,
Cowboy I mean the Cowboys didn't really like you thought at some point they were going to blow them out of the water, and that never really happened.
it
Like
never
they
really happened. It shows that Dallas really isn't as good as they say they are. I mean, that's always the case, but
well,
especially this year. And
I think
also
yeah.
two big losses on the defense going forward. They
Yeah, it
lost
was Parsons and Lawrence, right?
Parsons for a couple weeks, and then I think DeMarcus Lawrence for even longer.
I think
So that's
Lawrence
just not a
I don't
good
remember what the injury was
something
to
with his heel, I think.
yeah, but he's going to be out I think a couple of months if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he's gonna be out for a while, and Dallas's schedule gets really tough.
Yeah, man.
Like they play the
They're
Steelers this
backloaded
week on
this year.
Sunday night,
That's going to be an
and then
interesting
I know
one.
they play the Niners coming up too. They play the Cowboys, the Lions, the Niners, the Falcons, and then the Eagles. And then the Texans after that. Their next six, very tough schedule.
That seems a bit daunting.
Very daunting.
That's daunting.
Spoiler alert, I think the Steelers are gonna beat them on Sunday night.
Ooh. Could be part of the
Just a little
KBTs.
spoiler, little tease of the KBTs.
Yeah. Let's move to Sunday, shall we?
Let's go to Sunday.
Let's go
Sunday fun day.
to let's go to uh let's go to ATL. Let's go to Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Coo.
Ooh.
Coo. From downtown
Ooh.
57. yard game-winning field goal for Younghoe Koo. Falcons down the Saints 26-24. That was a fun one. I really enjoyed watching that one.
That
Um,
was a really fun game.
really back and forth. I mean, dude, Kirk Cousins just him this year when it comes to those late game situations? Like
Heroics. You're right. He's done it twice
his
now
late game
this
heroics,
season.
man. I mean, he didn't get too close this time, but Koo bailed him out. Actually, a
Mhm.
58-yard field goal now that I'm looking at it on the score sheet, but that was a fun one. I mean, I think Derek Carr and that offense has kind of regressed a little bit now. I think they had their fun the first couple of weeks, and now they're kind of falling back down
I
to
think
earth.
now the teams starting to have film. It's really starting to make a
Yeah,
difference. Also, like
yeah,
in hindsight now, they played Carolina with Bryce Young, which was like the worst team of all time.
yeah,
And then they also played Dallas, which has arguably, I mean, they did do well against the Giants, but they're not a strong run team.
yeah,
But they have a really bad run defense.
yeah,
The Giants. I mean the Cowboys, I should say.
yeah. I agree with that. I think what was interesting to me is that Atlanta won despite the fact that Bijan Robinson really didn't do. I mean, he had 7 carries, 28 yards,
He's
uh,
questionable now with a hand
4 catches
injury.
for
He
46.
sustained a hand injury, I think, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he did. I saw that, and it sucks for my fantasy team because I got frickin' David Montgomery on bye this week, and I have Zach Moss as my filler. But now
Nick
Bijan might not
Moss.
play. Like I don't know who I'm gonna play. Yeah, I
At
mean,
least
yeah,
he
he
plays Thursday, so you
he
have
plays
time.
Thursday. Yeah, yeah. So it's a
That should be a good game, but
short week for Atlanta coming up. Saints dropped to 2-2 now, and it's odd to me that I mean they just there were a couple drives that I thought they didn't finish off particularly well. They punted a lot. They moved the
you
ball really
did you
well.
realize Atlanta didn't score an offensive touchdown? I just realized this now looking through the stats.
Oh my god, yeah, wait, they had
They did
two
not
defensive
score
touchdowns and
an
all field
offensive
goals.
touchdown and they won the game.
How did
They
I
had 2
not lead with
touchdowns.
that?
I didn't even notice that until just now.
I'm literally looking at the play-by-play and like the score box, and I didn't even notice that.
So
Yeah,
it's
Kadarius
Atlanta's
Hodge had a fumble
specialties are
recovery in
defense.
the
That's what
end
won the
zone,
game.
and then Troy Anderson had the pick six. What the hell? And they won. This is a weird
And they
year,
won the
man.
game.
This is such a
That's
weird year.
hysterical.
This is a weird year for
What a
football.
year.
What a year.
2024, baby.
Jesus. All right. Take us to Carolina, Kyle.
Carolina. I was paying attention to this because I had what I thought was a lock parlay of the Bills. Obviously, they lost the Jets. Ugh. And I had the Bengals though because I thought the Bengals were due, and
I think a
I
lot of
was
people thought
correct.
they
The
were
Bengals
finally
were
due.
due,
Finally.
and they won. Their offense looked really good. That Jamar Chase touchdown. If you haven't seen it, dude,
Oh,
had
dude, that was
baby
crazy.
oil. He was asked to be a baby oil on him. He was slipping through the defenders.
That was crazy.
Absolutely nuts.
Wasn't it was a slant, right? And then he just oh no, it was a
Yeah, it was like
corner
a
route. It
slant.
was like a corner, yeah. And then he just got away. He just got away from
Yeah, it was like
he
a
went
deep
boop, boop.
post.
Yeah.
And he just slid through it was, oh my god, nuts.
Yeah.
But
Bengals
the offense is cooking.
Bengals won
Trey Hendrickson, I know, got
34-24.
hurt during the game.
Yeah, I don't let me see what he's doing now. Trey Hendrickson. Positive news on Trey Hendrickson. Zach Taylor gives
Wearing
update.
that was 2 days ago. He was wearing a
Let's
sling
see.
after the game
Neck stinger. He's got a neck stinger.
with a neck
No nerve
injury. Yeah,
damage.
well, I mean, he's their best
They look
player on
optimistic.
defense.
They look optimistic about him. Um,
But I mean, I
dude,
think out of if any 0-3 team can make the playoffs, which I mean, granted there was only 3,
yeah.
but and usually historically they don't. But I think this team can still make the playoffs. I'm
Well,
still as high as I was.
I think it's good for them in their situation because they have Cleveland in their division, who's like, you never know what you're gonna get on a week by week basis with Cleveland.
Mhm.
Baltimore, who had the slow start, I guess they're a game ahead now, and then Pittsburgh is 3-1, but
Yeah, but I mean,
on paper they seem
nobody.
beatable at least. That doesn't mean they
Oh,
are,
they
but
play the Ravens on Sunday. That's going to be a big
Bengals
game.
Ravens.
Bengals Ravens. I was just looking at their schedule, see how easy it is. But they got the Ravens, the Giants, the Browns, and the Eagles. Those are their
They got
next
some
4.
games coming up. That's a
And
much
that
needed win though for Cincinnati. Much,
they have
much,
to win
much.
that game.
They
If
had
they
to.
lose that game to the Ravens, then
The only
they're
reason I
probably
picked
cooked.
Cincinnati, I was like, this is a literal must at this point. Not that it wasn't last week, but or week 3, I should say, but it was it was a must win. They had to win that game.
The Panthers
Um,
still look feisty.
yeah,
I
dude.
like
I
the
mean,
Panthers.
and the thing, I mean, Dalton still played well, so like Bryce Young's not even thinking, like they're not even thinking about him anymore. And I know we said
Mhm.
last week, it's like, all right, well, if Dalton does good again and again and again, like he's never gonna see the field again.
Yeah. It's
But
also like good for all their players too. Like Xavier Leggett or maybe Xavier Legit. He did
legit,
pretty good. He had 2 really bad drops,
I'll
but
say
he did
Deontay
really
Johnson
good.
looked pretty good
Deontay Johnson's looked really good.
in a
I heard
Panthers uniform.
rumors that he might be done. He's looking to get traded, I heard. But they just traded for him, so I don't know how that's gonna work.
Who is this?
But and then Chuba Hubbard going off too. I know
Shuba.
their rookies got activated for the practice window, but Chuba Hubbard's looking really good under a competent quarterback play.
Yeah. How about the downfall of Miles Sanders? It's kind of sad, man.
Dude, it's sad. I mean, everyone said the same with Swift, but I mean, he had a really good game.
Well, he finally had a good game, and I guess
Yeah.
I'll touch on that one next. Mm.
hmm But I mean, who do you think is the Cincinnati back though? Chase Brown or Zach Moss, or do we have a two-headed monster or a two-headed
All right. So
midster?
here's what I think. I think Brown's the more explosive back. I think Moss is the better runner. Like I think he has better vision, but
I think he's a better blocker too.
I think he's probably because he's a little bigger. I think he's probably the better blocker.
Mhm.
So I would still make Moss my every down back, and then my change of pace back would be Chase Brown. That's what I would do. But
Yeah, both have 15 carries.
I would give drives to each of them. Yeah, they ran the ball a lot, and like that was one
Yeah,
thing I feel
Brown
like they
was
really
15 for
needed to
80
do.
and 2 touchdowns. Moss was 15 for 51, but he also had a touchdown through the air,
Yeah,
4 receptions for 27
yeah.
yards and a touchdown.
So like on
But
paper, I
I mean,
think
Chase had more yards and
yeah,
touchdowns,
Brown's
but
probably having the better year, but I still think I would make Moss my every down back,
mhm.
and then make Brown my change of pace back. But I would like if I were the coach, I would each give them like their own drives and whatnot. I think.
Yeah, I think this kid has a potential to be a little two-headed running
Yeah,
monster. You
for
know,
sure, for sure.
S
I agree
like
with that.
David Montgomery, S Jamar Gibbs,
Well,
Jamar yeah,
I don't know
Jamar.
about that good.
No, but I'm saying like
That
it's
duo was
like the
fire, man.
that's that's like a really nice like
Oh yeah, you'd love to
tequila,
have.
and then this is like Crown Rouge vodka version of that.
I never thought about it like that, but I
I
guess
don't
it's
know.
a.
That's a weird analogy, but I'm sticking with it.
All right, let's go to Chi-Town. Bears 24, Rams 18. Caleb Williams and company getting it done. We finally saw another touchdown from Caleb Williams. This time through the air, actually. Which is something that he doesn't really do. It's something the Bears offense doesn't really do is score touchdowns, but I believe they scored 2 in this game. One was to DJ Moore. Other one was
DeAndre
Roshan.
Swift
Oh
had
no,
a
yeah,
run.
Swift, and then Roshan Johnson had one. Dude, freaking DeAndre
They had
Swift
three
almost.
touchdowns.
They had 3. Yeah, they had 3. That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
they had
Swift,
3
Roshan,
touchdowns. Look at
and
that.
DJ Moore.
Bears defense took the day off. All right. I guess they didn't take the day off. They still.
Dude,
They still.
Swift went off though. 16
Yeah,
for
man.
93, 7 for 72 in the receiving game.
Dude.
Dude, the dude was everyone was like, bro, what a waste of money, what a bust.
I
And
mean,
then he does that.
if you bench
Woo!
DeAndre Swift this week, like A, I wouldn't blame you, but B, I'd also be really pissed off. Cause like, dude had a game. I almost got DeAndre Swift in one league. Swifted did. I almost got him. He almost killed me. Man had like 26 points.
Yeah, dude went off.
I think the Bears' identity needs to be through their running backs because they have a lot of running backs. Like they have Swift, they have Roshan Johnson. Who's the other guy too that they
Khalil
have?
Herbert. He
Khalil
didn't really
Herbert.
do much in this game. He
Nah,
just did
I don't
special
even.
teams.
Yeah, I don't even think he got a touch. But like they have guys like that they can give the ball to, and I think if you make Williams' job like easier that way, right? You get healthy at the receiver. You got
Can't
Keenan
hear
Allen back,
you.
who I know didn't really do
Hello?
much, but I think you get him back in the mix, and work him in with DJ Moore. I think the Bears actually could be a viable team going forward. What are you doing?
Sam's stealing my AirPods when my phone disconnected, so I couldn't hear your whole last bit.
Oh, well,
Because I
fuck
use
me
your
then.
AirPods because my AirPods don't work with the speaker. I can't talk through them
God
because
damn
I
it.
put them in the washing machine.
What are you doing?
What am I doing?
They don't belong in there.
I don't think so.
Jesus. All right, let's move on. Let's head over to Indianapolis. The Steelers finally vulnerable. First loss of the season for Pittsburgh. They lose 27-24.
It's
Of course I had
happening
the under.
again.
Of course I did. Why wouldn't I? They scored no points. Steelers scored nothing in any game.
Oh, nice.
Can you hear me?
I do.
What is going on right now? I think we just lost Kyle. Unbelievable. Mid podcast, Sam.
His fault.
It's not my fault.
No, it's your fault, Sam.
My,
We're blaming the women
we
here.
fixed it. I think we're fixed.
Okay, you're good. You're still coming through on my feed.
I heard you were talking about the Steelers.
All I
or
said was that
my-
they lost for the first time this year.
Yeah, they did
27
lose. I was shocked.
24. I think the biggest takeaway from this game though is Joe cocksucking Flacco getting it done again.
Dude, if you have Colts pass catchers, you must be ecstatic that Joe Flacco is starting.
Oh, dude, I benched all of them because I'm like Alec
As
Pierce.
you should. Anthony
Yeah,
Richardson,
bro,
as we said,
he can't throw the
already,
ball.
can make passes that 99% of quarterbacks can't make, but he can't make passes
But
that
he can't make the
99% of
throws.
quarterbacks can't make.
Dude, he's so he's such an anomaly, man. Like honestly,
Dude, did you see how he got hurt? He has the hip pointer, and they pulled him and they brought him back in the game. The only play he did was like a QB run.
They literally, yeah. All right, what's wrong with you? Oh, it's my hip. All right, get back out there. We're gonna run the ball with you. Like, they're at the
Like, oh my
5-yard
God.
line. Like, why would you even send them out there? Like, you couldn't have a Flacco like hand the ball. He literally took 2 steps and was like, "Nah, fam, I'm done." Like, crazy to me. Joe Flacco comes in relief. Goes 16 for 26, 168 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Man got it done. And he was going to Michael Pittman. He was going to Josh Downs. Didn't really see a lot of Alec Pierce in this game, which was a bit surprising because he's kind of like their deep threat. Like he's kind of like that Downs player where they're launching it over the middle of the field and
Downs just got back from injury. This was I think his first game of the season.
Yeah.
So that could be why.
Yeah.
He got a lot of buzz in training camp. Josh Downs.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very dependable little boyo.
Yeah, I mean
to call them.
I think it kills kind of the Alec Pierce hype train a little bit. But I think as long as they can get Michael Pittman involved in that offense in a consistent role, they're gonna be fine. Honestly, I think.
But keep in mind, Jonathan Taylor does have a high ankle sprain. Couldn't miss.
Yeah,
they're saying
that's
it's
big.
Day-to-day.
That's big. That is something to watch.
Trey Sermon, someone you might want to do a little sneaky waiver ad in your fantasy leagues.
Could do.
Well,
Didn't he score?
Yep.
Or
he did not score.
No, he didn't score.
Josh Downs scored and Ogletree, the tight end, scored.
I know. I think maybe Trey Sermon scored last week. Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe last week.
Maybe
Jonathan
last
Taylor
week.
scored.
I don't know.
21 for 80. He's a little stud muffin, but
and
it's hard about his ankle.
I don't really think the Steelers played poorly either. Like Fields had over 300 yards. I thought they ran the ball pretty well. They got down really early though. I think that game was it 17-0 at one point?
I believe so.
Something like that.
It was 17-3 at half. So
yeah, I think it was.
I'm
17.
just looking at I'm looking at the box.
I think it was 17-0 at one point. But yeah, I mean that's a great win for the Colts. They definitely needed it. Steelers, they'll be fine. Like that's a close one. You lose. You almost came back. You had the ball at the end of the game. You had a chance. Like they'll be fine. I think the Colts just got out to like a really early start, and they
I
couldn't
will say
overcome
one
it.
thing to notice: if you're a Najee Harris owner, I would be maybe a little worried
Oh,
because
dude.
they did not want to run with him initially. They were running with Patterson, and he was doing
Dude,
really well. And then obviously he got hurt because he's old.
Like Cordero Patterson out there running the football. Like they have a three-headed monster kind of in Pittsburgh too with Harris and
Yo, I mean, they
Patterson
just have to
and,
get healthy though. Harris is
and Warren. Yeah,
banged
they
up
gotta
a
get
little bit.
they gotta
Patterson's now banged up.
yeah
Warren's banged up.
they gotta get healthy.
Yeah, but the Muth was loose. The fur Muth.
The way.
He had a really good tight end performance.
Oh,
There's not been
Freiermuth.
a lot of those this season.
I was like,
The
what?
Muth is loose.
The Muth is loose.
The Friar Muth.
The Muth.
Mickey Moose. Shout out to Threes.
Mickey Moose. Speaking of getting up early, how about them Vikings?
Oh, the
4-0.
Q bus. All praise the Q bus.
Team of the week.
The Q bus.
The team of the week.
The QE bus.
The Minnesota Vikings. Check out this jersey, by the way. I
Home
got
of
this
the
at a
QB
thrift
bus.
store. Look, we got the captain's logo. Or we got the captain's. Where am I pointing? Captain's logo here. And then we got the 50th anniversary commemorative patch. I picked this up at a thrift store for like $20.
Damn.
It's awesome.
Did you also like steal money to like make your daughter's volleyball stadium?
I have no comment on that. Brett Favre. I forgot about that. Didn't he go to court and he got sued for like millions of dollars?
Yeah, and then he sued McAfee for defamation because McAfee made fun of him for it.
He sued.
And then doesn't he have what did he can't he
Holy
had guy
shit.
diagnosed with something.
He like frauded a
recently.
charity, right?
Yeah, he did that, but that was a while
Shit.
ago.
Well, it was
Recently,
either
he was in the news.
it was either this jersey or Adrian Peterson who beat the shit out of his son. So
beat the shit out of his kids with a piece of wood.
I guess pick the lesser of two evils. I don't know. Anyway, Vikings 31, Packers 29. Vikings jumped out to a
Well, he's got
28
Parkinson's. That's what it is.
nothing lead. And they didn't really ever look back. Darnold is playing on some sort of level, would you say?
Donald, the QB bus. Put
The
respect on his name.
The Geek Bus.
The Cubus. The Donald.
The Darnoldnator. Man, I
Darnold.
mean, is that team fun to watch at this current
Dude, you have to
juncture?
visit the Donald subreddit. It's hilarious.
Oh, I've seen
If
it.
you haven't already.
I'm well aware
Oh
of
my
it.
god.
It's a whole subreddit
Hysterical.
dedicated to Sam Darnold.
They're like, stop the count.
Yeah, it's hysterical.
For
It's
the Vikings.
a-
Dude, who would have thought after 4 weeks the only two undefeated teams are the Kansas City Chiefs, which are the refs paid them to win, but also the Minnesota Vikings. After their
Man.
off season with all their injuries and stuff,
Yeah,
like
I
who would have
think-
thought?
You know what I think it is? As good as the offense has been, I think the unsung hero has really been that pass rush, man. They got some boys
Even
up
that
there.
Brian Flores defense. Oh my
Dude,
lord.
Jonathan Greenard, you got Dallas Turner now. Did he get hurt though? I think he got hurt maybe. Shaquille Griffin, Patrick Jones, like they got some dogs there, man.
They do.
Darnold finished with 3 more touchdowns, 275 yards, 1 pick. 20 of 28 though, extremely efficient. The guy knows how to get it done. And Aaron Jones, another phenomenal game against his former team. 22 carries, 93 yards. Did not score in this one.
Revenge game.
But man, they're in some sort of rhythm.
Oh boy. They
Um,
look really good. I would
yeah.
be very nervous to play them next. And the
I
team
wouldn't
that
wanna
plays
play
them
'em.
next is the Jets in London.
oh yeah, that one's in London, huh? I gotta get up
It's in
early.
London. Get up early in the morning on Sunday.
Yucky.
Get your bets in when you're out drinking on Saturday night.
Yeah, honestly. I still think that the Packers will be fine. They'll be right there for the division.
No,
Jordan,
Packers are really good. They're really well coached. You
yeah,
can
they
see
are
that with,
well.
like the Will
LaFleur
Levis.
LaFleur has those guys playing well.
Or
They didn't
Mike
really
Willis,
run the
like-
ball this game. I mean, they were down 28-0.
They were
so it
down
makes
early.
sense.
You can't really run
Yeah,
when you're
I
down
mean,
early.
Love had
Just listen to Sirianni at
that's-
his press conference, you know?
that
Can't do it.
guy's a
It's
loser.
not possible.
That guy's a loser. But yeah, love threw 54 times on this one. It's kind of a tough ask considering that he's been out and he's just kind of, finding his rhythm with that leg injury or it was an ankle injury, right? High ankle sprain.
No, it's his knee.
That was his knee. It was his knee. Yeah,
It
yeah.
was his knee,
MCL. or
Yeah,
whatever.
everyone.
Him.
I thought it was the worst. You saw it pop
Yeah.
down in Brazil.
So I guess they're happy that he's back. I think they'll be fine in the long run. You
No,
know,
I think they're definitely one of the best. That NFC North race is going to be very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to watch the Vikings play the Lions. I think that's going to be a
That'll-
really interesting game.
And I think that's going to tell you a lot more about that Vikings defense too. I think we'll see a lot. We'll answer a lot of questions about that Vikings defense when they go up against that juggernaut, who we'll get to in a little bit. I'll tell you what, though. You know who I'm not sold on? The Houston Texans. How good actually are the Houston Texans? Because I
think they're really missing Joe Mixon right now. They really need a good run game.
Yes.
Also, it's divisional games, and those are always funky. I don't really take too much credit.
I do. Because I'll tell you why. Because the Jaguars are a bad football team. Trevor Lawrence is a bad NFL quarterback. Doug Peterson is a bad NFL coach at this juncture. And they don't have much of anything going on for them right now. And they needed the entire game to beat that team. So I'll ask you again, how good actually are the Houston Texans?
I think they're about probably where they were last year. Last year they had a couple like close. They lost to the Panthers last year. I don't think they're that much.
Oh yeah, that's
better,
right. They did, didn't they?
But they're not worse than they were last year.
I don't think they're worse.
Remember, they were 10 and they finished 10-7, and they had to win the division in the last playoff game. I think they're probably maybe marginally better than what they were last year.
I think that's fair. I think a lot of people were overhyping them maybe a little bit. Coming into the year, I did pick them to win the division, but that's also because I thought all the other three teams were. I didn't buy them, so I think the winner of that division probably wins 9 games, and if it's 8, I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think the Texans will lose more games than they'll win. I think it'll be close, though. I agree with you that they're really missing Joe Mixon currently because they're
He
just
should hopefully be back this week.
Yeah, I think he's on track to get back in the action this week. Because what did Akers do? 13 carries, 53 yards.
He didn't do
JJ
much.
Taylor 6 carries, 18 yards. Yeah, I mean, and it was all on Stroud. I mean,
touchdown.
and like Stroud threw. Easiest bet of my life was his over. Honestly, I saw what Josh Allen did to that team on Monday night. It weren't pretty. I was like, this Texans team is absolutely going to destroy them through the air, especially with Mixon out.
They did Nico Collins.
Woo, oh my dude, that was literally so free, 151 yards, 1 touchdown, and like most of that, I feel like, dude, he had like almost 100 yards at the half. Like it was crazy. He was just feasting. Stroud finished with 345 yards, 2 touchdowns, 27 of 40. Yeah, I mean, they threw all over them. I don't think Doug Peterson's for long. I'll tell you that much. I think that one's going to get wrapped up sooner rather than later, too, especially if they continue to lose like they have been. Because they did play relatively, okay in this one. And I think despite all the yards that the Texans had, they were more or less bend don't break at certain points. But dude, Trevor Lawrence is he's been tough to watch this year. I feel kind of bad.
Really bad miss.
I feel kind of bad for those Texans fans or for those Jaguars fans. I mean, they're kind of hard to miss. Hi, Sam. Let's move on. Kai, you want to let's take us back to Jersey. Let's talk about Sam. Sam Haber.
Oh, you're talking to the chat?
Yeah, I'm talking to the chat. Sam's here.
Oh, I can't.
Well,
see
he was
the
here.
chat, so I don't know.
I gotta get you access to the chat. We'll work on that in the future.
Dude, shout out to Brian Thomas Jr. I was gonna say that he's a stud.
Oh yeah, yeah. He did have a good game. He did have a good game. I like that.
He did have a good game. All right, next game.
The Jets. I know you want to talk about this one.
Jets.
So take it away.
Oh my God, the Jets. Oh my God, I thought it was free money that they beat the Broncos at halftime. the Broncos' leading receiver had 1 catch for 0 yards.
I think the more
Oh my
impressive.
God.
I think the
How
more.
do you lose a game? How do you lose a game when at halftime the other team's leading receiver is 0 yards?
Bro, I think the crazier
How
stat
is that
was
possible?
that at halftime, Bo Nix had -7 yards passing. He had
That is
-7
Oh
yards.
my God.
Like they had like 3 receivers with negative receiving yards.
Yeah, with negative yards. Like,
Like
oh
it's
my
insane.
Lord.
And they won. And they won. Like,
Yeah.
all right, I get it. That's one of those games where it's like shitty weather, like it's windy, it's cold, it's raining, whatever. I don't care. If you have zero, if your leading receiver is 0 yards at the half and you have -7 yards as your quarterback, there's no justifiable reason for losing that football game.
No.
It's
Dude,
crazy.
but Breece Hall, is he okay? 10
I don't-
for 4?
Yeah, bro. I don't know. That was one of the. That
Are
was
we
one of the.
sounding the alarms?
That was one of those games where I got kind of concerned for Brees Hall, especially on that one drive, right, where they were like at the goal line and he just went backwards like 3 times. Like it did
Yeah,
not.
it was, oof.
It looked ugly. Like it wasn't even.
It
It reminds me of that one game that Saquon had that one year where he had like 12 carries for like 1 yard or something. I forget who
yeah,
it was
I remember
against.
that game.
And like I get it, like you're not gonna have the best of days, but like 10 for 4, I don't know.
I mean, the defense gave everything that. The offense, they were.
Yeah.
Rodgers was like the receivers were not like making the the spots. They were not running the right routes.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like on that last drive, he was visibly like very upset with Garrett Wilson
Yeah.
because I think he like didn't cut in early enough for the route. And Alan Lazard, like a little pew pew penalty, that was a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Freaking taunting when he just does a little pew pew.
The no fun league is
You know,
back
like
in
they're
full swing
shooting up
this year,
kids in
man.
schools. You know, you're not allowed to do a little pew pew. That's
The-
like what's going on in this country.
The no fun league is back in full effect
no
this
fun
year.
league, you know?
Honestly, it's crazy. I've seen it. You've seen it so many, like with CD when he like threw the ball down on Thursday and it was like in the direction of the defender and they threw the flag. And then like they threw a flag on Jamison Williams last night after he scored, and I just saw a lot of it
There's
this
a flag on
week.
Drake London at the Eagles game
Yeah.
when he went like
Yeah,
with the gun.
I
You
don't
know,
know, man.
this is
Like,
Second Amendment. Second Amendment NFL.
like, dude, you
Bring
let these
back guns to
like
the
they
NFL.
it's crazy to me because they let the guys literally line up in like a pontoon boat and like row themselves like in the end zone, but then you can't go like
yeah, they can't use guns.
yeah, like it doesn't make
what's
any.
happening to this
I don't
country?
I don't get it. I don't get it, man.
Bring back guns to the NFL, please. It's
Uh,
our Second Amendment right. I want to see the players with guns.
yeah, I would love that.
Bring
me,
them back. Pew 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 pew
yeah.
pew.
Give me Plaxico Burress on my team.
Yes.
On my NFL's guns team. Shit, man. Yeah,
anyway,
I
the
mean,
Jets they might need Devontae Adams. I think if they get Devontae Adams,
I
that
think
could
it
be
makes
huge.
sense, man. I really do. I think it makes a ton of sense. I mean, because he and Garrett Wilson, like Rodgers and Wilson, they're not on the same page. They're not.
No,
It's
they're
week.
not. But if
It's
Garrett
week.
Wilson's like
Go ahead.
week 5. Garrett Wilson, if he like is there 2 to Devontae Adams 1, that could be scary.
Bro, forget it.
But I think right now Rodgers takes a little bit. Like even Devontae Adams, like if you remember at the beginning of his career, like people thought he sucked and he was a bust. I remember.
I don't think it's necessarily on either of them, to be completely honest. I just think they're not on the same page. And like that's
Exactly,
important.
but I think Rodgers takes a little bit to gel. Like he's not that good with like younger receivers. Like I know, like his last year with the Packers.
Well, yeah,
because
he's
Devontae,
dude. He's literally
got,
gonna
like,
be
a bunch of little kids.
He's gonna be out in like a year or two. Like it's not gonna. It's not like he's not sticking around for a long time.
If I'm the Jets, I am gonna give the Raiders whatever they want for Devontae Adams. Like whatever. Like
Well, they
this
asked for
team hasn't won a playoff game since I was in.
They
middle
need to get to the
school.
playoffs this year, and it makes sense.
They need to go all in. How could you have that? Like
If
you're a big market.
If you're the
You
Raiders,
literally haven't been to or won a playoff game since I was in middle school, which was like what 13, 14 years ago. There's kids that are alive that have never seen the Jets in the playoffs.
yeah. Like if you're the Raiders,
Like
but
I have
would
a
you
bunch of little
do?
cousins. They're all Jets fans. They've never seen the Jets be successful.
Would you do if you're the Raiders? Would you do Hassan Reddick and a second-round pick for Devontae Adams.
I would do that.
I think it makes
I
sense.
think Hassan
And I
Reddick
think
in a
that's
third, I think
probably
you could do.
I think that's probably the best offer you're gonna get too. Like,
I think so too. I think Hassan Reddick and a second would be a phenomenal deal. I think that's even overpaying, which I think the Jets should do.
yeah, I think they have to because you're like the defense is fine. Like the defense will be fine. Honestly, you can trade for another guy at the deadline and like bolster that defensive line or whatever. But you need help now. You need to give Rod. You need
I mean, their defense is not the problem. Their
No.
defense shut down the Broncos.
Yeah. I mean, and I know they
Any
were
other
playing.
competent team would have won.
Yeah, they were playing in the same conditions as as Denver, but like honestly, they need the help now. They need the help now.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to the Broncos defense, though. I think it's legit.
yeah, hey, I started them all in all three leagues this year or this week.
Smart play.
Big brain. All right,
next game.
take us to Tampa.
I don't want to go to Tampa.
Take us to
It's
Tampa.
hot.
Take
I
us to
hated
Tampa,
it.
Kyle. Take us to Tampa.
It was bad, I'll say. It was bad.
Take us.
The Eagles were bad. Nick Sirianni is bad.
Nick Sirianni is a
them.
fucking loser, is what he is.
They make me want to cry.
That guy pisses me off.
Nick Sirianni, like, oh, I'm not running with Saquon because we only ran 7 plays and 2 were for, like, bro, what? Just do. He's your best player.
Just shut up.
Best player.
Like, dude, just
You have
shut
no other.
up.
I mean, the one thing I will say though is that granted they were missing 3 of their best players on offense, 3 of their best players on the whole team, arguably. But like the team showed up like they didn't even want to play. Like it's like, oh, it's hot, they're not gonna play. Like that defense was not. They're letting up all these catches. Like if you're gonna play this Vic Fangio style of like off coverage,
Right.
you gotta have guys that can just run up and make the tackle. And
Well,
the Eagles
it's not
do
only,
not have guys that can run up
they
and
don't
make the
have
tackle.
guys that can tackle. Period. Like
It's horrible.
it
They
looks like
cannot
high school.
tackle. How many times I just saw the guys go?
It's high school level bad is what it is.
They were like swan divers, man. They were swan divers.
It's
diving all
crazy.
over the Tampa pool. They thought they were swimming in the pool.
They got
And
no
all the
pressure
sweat,
on.
They thought it was a pool.
I got no pressure on Baker Mayfield. By the way, stop lining Bryce Huff up as a linebacker. Can we put him on the outside of the line and like get him down into the fucking ground and like a sprinter, the sprinter that he is? Can we get him into the backfield? Like stop lining him off and off coverage and then having him rush. It doesn't work. It's not working.
No.
Like go watch his
They have
tape.
a lot to work on this bye week.
Oh my god. Honestly, coming into the year, I was like, this is not a good bye week for the Philadelphia Eagles. Week 5, stinky.
So in hindsight, this bye
This
week
is
enormous.
perfect timing
It's
for
so
that bye
huge
week.
based on what the team's at right now.
But it's a Jalen Hurts problem, I think. I mean, the dude doesn't trust.
I agree.
He
His
doesn't
turnovers
trust
is
his
getting
receivers.
ridiculous.
Like, is it just gotten to the point where the league's like figured him out? Like, I don't get it, man. I really don't. Like, he's regressed so much, and I don't even think he's really doing anything different. He's just not executing. It's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it seems like he's like he doesn't have that rapport. Like take a look at Goddard, right? Every time Goddard touched the ball in that game, it was either a good throw, Goddard was open, they looked like they were in sync, right? The ball was on time. I saw Jahan Dotson getting open. I saw Paris Campbell getting open. I know Campbell did score, but like, where's the over the middle routes to them? Where's the deep post? Where's the slant? I barely saw it. Like
He literally doesn't trust anyone not named Devontae Smith or AJ Brown.
I mean, look, I get it. Like, that's honestly, like, that's a huge thing. I get
Yeah, but
it.
the thing is like if you're gonna pay him because they paid. I mean, granted, in hindsight, like he's now the 10th or the 9th highest paid quarterback. That'll probably go down like as more people get paid. But if you're gonna get paid the top money, you have to be able to play without some of your top guys.
Yeah, like you have to. Like, and I
really
get.
hasn't shown that.
He's
really regressed.
Yeah, I get that's a dynamic duo like AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. You could probably put that duo up with any other duo in the league at receiver, but when push comes to shove, you have to make the play, and he didn't.
The thing. Oh, sorry.
You know, Sam said you started the Raiders defense against the Panthers. Yeah, I did because I thought they were good and they stink.
Yeah,
I don't care who they were missing. They were stinky that game. But I guess I got Andy Dalton, so
Yeah, Andy
Takes-
Dalton.
I got Andy Dalton.
Eagles got a lot to work on the bye week.
yeah.
My biggest fear is that they should have fought. I feel like if this is a life lesson, if it does collapse, which I really hope it doesn't. If you have any shred of doubt on something, like you feel like you got to cut loose, fucking do it. The longer you wait, the more painful it will be. So if they really had doubt on Sirianni, they should have don't fall for the sunk cost fallacy. Fucking cut loose.
They
You
were
have that
holding.
girl in your life that you're not sure about. Cut her loose.
Cut it loose.
That job you're not a big fan of, but I feel like it. Cut it loose. Take the risk. Live it young.
Cut
Swing away. Bring back guns to the NFL.
Yeah, guns. Shoot
Bang,
Nick
bang,
Sirianni. I mean,
Bing
what?
bong, bing bong.
Didn't say that.
All right, let's go. Let's go to the 4 o'clock.
Let's go to Arizona for the team that I think, saying it on record now, I think they're gonna win the goddamn NFC East, the Washington
I
Commanders.
agree. I said it as a joke to my buddy.
I said it as a joke too.
And I think it's legit.
It's
They're
real.
plus money right now on the books. So if
snatch that. I might put.
Snatch it. If you're an Eagles hater, Cowboys hater,
I hope my girlfriend's
realist,
not listening
just
right now.
snatch it.
I hope my girlfriend's not listening right now, but babe, I might put this. I might put our mortgage on the Commanders. That's how confident I am.
I won't.
At this
I
point.
believe in the Birds. I'm a real fan, unlike this boy.
42 to 14. Watch your mouth. 42 to 14. Commanders over the Cardinals. Early and often, free. These are things that describe the Commanders' offense. Jaden Daniels again shining. 26 for 30, 233 yards. I believe he's one of the first quarterbacks since like the 70s or something to have back-to-back games with a completion percentage above 85%.
He has the highest completion percentage of any quarterback within the first 4 games of the season.
There you go. I knew you had it.
Another fun fact. I have a lot of Commanders fun facts. One of my good friends is a Commander fan. Shout out to my boy.
I got one.
This
is probably one of yours, but the Commanders have only punted 4 times this year, and I just find that completely just asinine. That
Do you want to get your
offense-
mind blown with this stat?
Yeah, blow
courtesy
me.
of my
No
boy?
pause.
Jaden Daniels has more scoring drives than incompletions.
Bro. That's the best one. That's the best one.
That is the best stat.
That's the best
Shout out
stat.
to my boy Aaron. Shout him out.
Give me another.
He's been my friend for a while now. Like I met him in college or whatever. But I have never ever seen him this happy and this excited to be a Commanders fan. He's usually sometimes in September if they look hot, and that one year they won the NFC East with Taylor Heineke and Alex Smith. But I've never seen him talk in the Commanders in this glowing light.
Dude.
And it's beautiful to see. It sucks to see as a division rival.
Yeah.
But it feels great to see someone that has suffered for a while have hope in their terrible team.
They're 110% legit. Honestly.
Yes.
They are a legit team. And I'll tell you what, I thought Austin Eckler being out was going to make at least a little bit of a difference. Didn't matter. Jeremy
Didn't matter.
McNichols, former Titan, come on in, do your thing, score twice, do your thing. Crazy.
Yeah, Cliff Kingery's revenge game. He was
yeah,
ecstatic.
dude.
Did
Oh,
you see the
yeah.
locker room after the game?
I was happy.
He was ecstatic to beat that team.
You know, there were two offensive coordinators going up against their former teams that they coached for this year. One was this week, I should say. One was Cliff Kingsbury. One was Nathaniel Hackett. That one didn't go too well.
Well, Nathaniel Hackett, he's a bomb, but rip.
The hack. So yeah, big win for the Commanders. They keep winning. Let's move on to San
Niners, just real quick.
Fran.
The only
San Fran.
comment
Yeah,
I
touch
have
on
on
it.
that is that the Fred Warner's pick looked like straight out of Madden when you're playing arcade mode and the middle linebacker jumps up 20 feet in the air.
I didn't
and
see
intercept the
that.
ball. It was
You have to-
nuts.
Oh, maybe I
You
did
have
see
to
that.
see it. It's literally like everybody in Madden, as I'm a big Madden player. Shout out to the Drinking Man League
Boo.
back in the day. But anyway, the animations for the picks are ridiculous, and most of the time everyone's like, "There's no way that would ever happen." Fred Warner did one of those animations, the middle linebacker getting the pick. It was
Yeah.
absolutely nuts.
I mean, this one
That's
wasn't
all
even
I
close.
have to take away from that game. Obviously,
Yeah,
the Niners looked really good.
yeah.
Brock
I mean,
Purdy looked really good.
30 to
Patriots
13 was the
don't look
final.
that good.
The only
but-
thing I'll say about this one is I'll ask you, is it approaching that time where like Drake May actually might get a chance soon if this
I don't
continues?
think so. I
No?
think they're fine with Brissett. They looked pretty competent, honestly. It's just like the Niners were clearly the better team. I just
Yeah.
think that with the O-line, they don't want to destroy. I think they're handling the Drake May situation really well. They don't really have that good weapons, and
Yeah.
they don't really have that good of an O-line. So they rather just like Brissett's good to sit behind and learn.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see him later in the year, but I think at the moment
I think you made
he'll be fine.
like 3
I also
good
think they're
points there.
probably going to win next week because they play the Dolphins. I mean, we'll get into that a little bit later,
Bro.
but
Dumpster fire. All right, we'll
Oh,
move
boy.
on. Let's talk about the Browns and the Raiders. The Raiders can't
that
even
was a
lose
feisty little
correctly.
game.
I thought Cleveland was actually going to win that one. O'Connell got. Oh no, the Minshew got the start.
Minshew got the start.
Minshew got the start. God, what am I even
I
talking
don't
about?
think O'Connell played. I don't know.
Nah,
I
he
kinda
didn't. Nah,
watched
Minshew
this
got
one
the
on
start.
Red Zone.
I mean, this one was an ugly one though. At least looking at the box score.
It was a little
It's
ugly
20 to
game, but it was
16.
it was a little entertaining. There was some
Raiders
like entertaining
win.
plays. Got
Um,
exciting near the end.
It was exciting towards the ends. I'll give you that. Who had the game-sealing sack? I believe it was like Snowden. Charles Snowden had the game-winning sack
Yeah,
for
they
the
were missing
Raiders.
Max Crosby.
Bro,
Obviously,
the
Devontae Adams
Browns
wants to
are
leave.
putrid. I'll tell you, they're putrid.
They're really injured right now, but they do not look good.
They are very injured. And one thing, all right, A, they don't have Nick Chubb. B, their O-line is hot garbage right now with all the injuries and like I feel like they have 5 different guys out there every single week. C, Deshaun Watson just ain't it, and I think they know he ain't it, and they're kind of just biding their time so that they can potentially move on from him and just kind of put this whole ordeal behind them. Because I think on paper the Browns are fine. Like I don't think Cleveland is a bad team per se. I just think they play poorly together and they're poorly constructed. Does that make
Yes.
sense?
Yes, that does make sense.
It's because the Browns opened up the game on the drive took 9 minutes 22 seconds. They went down the field. It was a 15-play drive. They scored a touchdown. I believe their next possession they got a field goal, and then their offense finished punt, interception, punt, turnover on downs, and that's how they finished the game and they lost. So it's like,
Yeah.
I don't get it. The only other touchdown was I
Wah.
think it was a pick six. Or a fumble recovery or something, but like,
I think it was a fumble recovery.
yeah, they gotta. I don't know. All right, last game of the
I'm
4
excited.
o'clock window.
I'll be seeing them in 2 weeks. The Cleveland. I'll see Cleveland in
The
2 weeks when I'm in
Clevelands.
Philadelphia.
Last
I'll get a
game.
first-hand look. I'm gonna be on the sidelines.
Yeah, you gotta send me some content. I gotta post some of that.
I'll send some contact for the picks
For
and
everybody.
I'll get some first-hand look. I'll score an interview. That'd be pretty
Oh my
cool.
god, dude, yeah. We gotta get you in like a picture.
That'd be nuts.
represent. Hi, I'm
I
Kyle
pull
Brady
someone
with,
up and I'll be like, "Can I ask you a quick question for my
Kyle Brady with the
podcast?"
Picks NFL. No, so Nick Sirianni, you're getting a lot of criticism right now. Should you be working at Wendy's? Like, all right, last game of the 4 o'clock window: Chiefs Chargers. Chiefs 17, Chargers 10. Chiefs 4-0 again. Rashee Rice torn ACL.
Rest
He's
in
carted
peace.
off the field once again, leaving the scene of an accident. Again.
Yep.
I do wish him
The football gods are vengeful.
yeah. I mean this.
Did you see them all wearing like Travis Kelce t-shirts like in the pregame? To, like,
No.
show support, like is it like as if he died or like was like hurt?
What happened to
And
Kelsey?
it's just like that he's washed.
What? Who said?
Like, all the Chiefs receivers were wearing like Travis Kelce shirts to like support him because everyone's like, all the Swifties are like, why isn't he getting the ball?
Oh.
They don't know nothing about football.
Yeah. Well, he got the
And,
ball a
like,
lot, didn't he?
Well, yeah, obviously because freaking Rice got hurt.
Yeah, 7 catches, 89 yards for Kelsey. Yeah, I think it's just kind of a case where he's getting to that point in his career where he's like not the top tier guy, doesn't have the top tier speed anymore. He's still a really good player, but like
No,
You know,
he's still a really good
he's just
player.
not the guy.
You
He's not
gotta
the guy
think
in years
maybe
past.
he's seeing his brother having a great time in retirement.
Yeah,
and
man. I
he's
mean,
he wants to spend
I
time with his lady.
I'll tell you what. I don't think I don't think Travis Kelce is too far off from retiring. I think he's got maybe
I
like.
could honestly see him retiring after the season,
I think he's got
especially if they win the Super Bowl.
maybe 2 or 3 years. Yeah,
If they
especially
win the
if
Super
they win the
Bowl,
Super Bowl, I think he will
calling
retire.
it right now, he will retire. I really hope
I
they don't
agree with
win the
that.
Super Bowl. This must be what people felt like when Brady was going off.
Yeah.
But I like Tom Brady because I share the same last name, and also the Eagles beat him in the Super Bowl, so I don't really care.
The only
But the
thing. Go
Mahomes,
ahead.
they beat the Eagles in the Super Bowl, so I hate him, and I never want him to win again.
The one thing I will say about the Kansas City Chiefs is that they're really banged up right now. No Pacheco, no Hollywood Brown for the year.
Yeah, they're really banged
Was
up
what
on
they think.
offense.
No Rashee Rice for the rest of the year. And yet they keep winning. Man, they're gonna have to lose one of these games.
Dude, the
at
Chargers
some
should have
point.
won this game. I was
They
so
were right
mad.
there, dude. They were right
They
there.
should have won. Oh
Ugh.
my lord.
It was
You
frustrating.
could see Herbert on the sideline throwing his helmet. They're a team that was, I think, in my opinion, was built. That's why I bet them. But I
Yeah.
think they were built to beat the Chiefs. They're really run heavy. And I think that basically the way to beat the Chiefs is just keep the ball out of Mahomes' hands and play like solid
Yeah.
enough defense.
Mm-hmm.
But like now that Mahomes, like they lost their main running back, they lost their leading receiver. Like I mean they play the Saints, but I'm really low on the Saints. But I think that they're due for a loss. I think I don't know. It's hard to bet against them though. It's Mahomes. They're the NFL's darlings. Taylor
Yeah.
Swift's darlings. I don't like them.
I think it was tough.
You can't deny that they're good. I hate it.
It was tough for the Chargers because they had the missed field goal early in the third, and then
Yeah.
they had I think they turned it over on downs at some point, and then they punted, and then they kind of had to punt with their last possession of the game because I think it was like 4th and 15, and they were like at their own, like they're at their own 40, so like, and they never touched the ball again. So it was kind of a
J.K.
tough.
Dobbins had such a bad drop. It was such
Yeah.
an unbelievable throw by Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Oh my lord.
That
Hit
was
him
a
like right in
that was
between
a
double
tough
coverage,
one.
right in the hands. I was like, holy shit. Because I had J.K. Dobbins in fantasy and I had Chargers money line. And then he just dropped it. And I'm like, oh my
Peace out,
fucking
Sam.
God.
Thanks for joining. Yeah, that was a tough drop. That was a tough drop. All right.
Jesus.
Let's get into these last 3 games. Sunday Night Football. Dun 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 dun. The
Dun, dun,
Buffalo
dun,
Bills
dun.
and the Baltimore Ravens. I had the Bills in this one, bro, and I was so confident they were gonna win. I was like, they're gonna go into Baltimore.
As was I.
They're gonna win. They got down 21-3. I'm like, I don't give a shit. They're still gonna win this game. Blah blah. They freaking stopped the Ravens, open up the third quarter, scored the touchdown, stopped them again. I'm like, here we come. Bills come back, and then they line up Khalil Shakir under center, and they have him flip the ball to Josh Allen while he's being tackled, and then Josh Allen gets freaking destroyed, and then the Bills the Ravens get the ball. And then they score, and then they score again, and then the game's over.
The momentum was all gone.
Bro,
the Bills
like,
are a very momentum-heavy team.
But why are you running that play there, though? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, that play single-handedly ruined the Bills' comeback, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know if you feel the same way, but like that razzle-dazzle bullshit.
Thing, I agree, but I also think that the Bills' run defense is atrocious. If you want to have a laugh, watch Derrick Henry's first carry.
Bro, Derrick, dude,
every
87-yard touchdown.
Defender getting destroyed in that run.
Oh my
Lord! Hilarious.
You know what's crazy to me is that like he's old. He's an quote unquote older running back at this point in his career, right? He's like a 10-year guy. He's still he's bigger than everybody. He's still
like one
got
of the
that
old
speed.
Bell Tags of like the early 2000s, 90s.
Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy how like in shape he is. Oh yeah, that's not even a question. But like, dude, it's just crazy to me. Like at this stage in his career, he's still that good and that fast. Well, you gotta remember when he was
drafted, he didn't really like a lot of rookie running backs like that are drafted that high. Like they start playing right away.
Yeah,
he really didn't.
You're right, because they had
if I recall, until like his second or third.
He wasn't there when Chris Johnson was.
He was
there
like the
yet.
backup behind DeMarco Murray.
DeMarco Murray the one year. That's what it. And then they had like
the Titans. He's the backup.
They had like
DeMarco
Antonio
Murray.
Andrews
he didn't really get going
and
until
like
year 2, year 3.
Yeah, bro. Remember the 4-touchdown game that he had with the 99-yard touchdown or whatever? That was like
against Jacksonville.
Yeah,
oh my lord.
That was when Derrick Henry became Derrick Henry. I feel like.
Yeah, that was when he put his stamp on the map.
Yeah. The Ravens dominated this one from start to finish. As I said, they got out to a 21-3 lead early on. Buffalo started coming back, and then just mistake. I don't know.
Yo, did you see Mark Andrews on the milk carton today?
missing
He's
in action.
missing.
Yeah, bro. Oh my God.
Another
Look at
zero.
this. 0 catches on
He had a
one
really bad
target.
drop.
Man,
happened, bro?
man. I mean, I don't know.
Incredible blocker though.
Yeah, but he's Mark Andrews.
He's a blocking tight end.
Apparently, what's going on here?
Yeah, blocking tight end now.
I don't understand that at all. I mean, I know Likely's fine. Likely's a good guy, but Mark Andrews is also that kind of guy. He's a good receiving threat. So I don't know. I mean, if the Ravens keep winning, they probably won't even bat an eye. It's a big win for Baltimore, though. I'll tell you, 1-3 is a hell of a lot different than 2-2. That's the Bills' first loss of the year. They're 3-1, still at the top of the AFC East.
3-1. They should be fine. I think they'll bounce back.
All right, 2 more. Take us to Miami, Kyle.
Oh, I watched this game because I was playing against a Devon Achane owner, and I needed him to get on a lot of points, and that happened. It was
did
really
exactly
great.
that.
The rest of the game, not so great. Terrible to watch.
I'm thankful that
Levis
you
threw a
watched
pick,
that game because as
and
soon
then
as
hurt his shoulder, gone. Mason Rudolph came in, and I mean, he didn't do the mistakes and the boneheaded plays, but he really didn't do much else. I think he had He had 80 or 90 passing yards. It was really boring. The Dolphins look terrible.
yeah,
They cannot function without Tua. They
Yeah.
Achane, they're this outside zone speed just does not work unless you have a competent quarterback or even they need a stronger running back up the middle. We saw a lot of whatever the rookie's name is. I can't remember off the top of my head. The guy
I'll
they
give
took
you a
in the
name.
4th round.
I'll give you a name.
and
I'll give
just
you a
waiting
name.
for
I'll
my
give you a
computer to
name.
load. Jalen Wright.
Jalen Wright, you beat me to it.
We saw a lot of him this game. Huntley had to scramble a bit. Both quarterbacks had under 100 yards.
All 3
passing,
quarterbacks that played.
And it just was a horrible, horrible game to watch. I'm just glad that I won in fantasy, so it was worth it.
Yeah.
But that's all I have to say. Miami looks horrible.
Yeah, they look bad. They look bad without Tua.
Tyreek Hill looks he's good, but he's under 50 yards now past 3 weeks. Just oh my lord, terrible.
Yeah, crazy.
Terrible offense.
As Kyle said, Will Levis got hurt in this one, but not before he turned the ball over.
The one thing I will say is when he got hurt, they called him short. I don't know why they didn't challenge it because even the broadcasters were saying it. And
I thought he was.
too.
I thought
It
he
was
got
a first down.
I thought he got there.
I don't know why they didn't.
He was
challenge
signaling
that.
for it.
That
I'm like,
nuts.
Will Levis, you're a doofus. Stop signaling for it. And then they showed the replay, and I'm like, oh, I think he actually got it. And then
he had it.
And then
was shocked
Miami
they
just
didn't call a
had the
challenge.
ball. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess they're not challenging it. Yeah, I don't know. Honestly, if I knew that Mason Rudolph was going to play most of this game, I probably would have picked Tennessee. I probably should have picked Tennessee no matter what after
I
watching
picked
them.
Tennessee. Spoiler
I
alert,
probably
correct.
should have. Yeah, just after watching them play against Seattle last week was really rough too.
Yeah, the Dolphins look arguably like one of the worst teams in the NFL. And we'll get into it when we get to the KBTs. The KBTs is due, guys.
Yep. All right,
Do not count out the KBTs.
We got one more before we get into that. The last game of Week 4, the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions. Man, I'll tell you, the Detroit Lions are really fun to watch play football. They win 42-29. They put the game away at the end, but it was a lot of points in this game. They're just a
Jared
fun.
Goff, perfect.
Jared,
perfect game.
Motherfucking Goff, 18 of 18, dude.
Didn't even get the game ball.
Who got the game ball?
Tan Campbell said, I think yesterday.
Oh yeah, he's like, we got a lot of game balls to give out, boys.
Game ball, and he found out later that Jared Goff played a perfect game, and he's like, why the hell didn't I give him the ball?
We got a lot of game balls to give out, guys. Everyone's getting a game ball.
Because he had -2 rushing yards. That's probably why.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, totally. Scumbag. Dude, 18 of 18. 18 of 18, 292 on 18 completions.
Incredible.
It's pretty crazy.
And a receiving touchdown.
And he caught one. Amon-Ra threw him one, bro. Insane. Yeah, they did a little razzle-dazzle Philly special head ass situation.
Yeah.
They're on a roll. I mean, no, I don't think there's anything more to say than they're just on a roll. I mean, that dude, the duo of Montgomery
Gibbs and
and
Montgomery.
Gibbs is just sick.
Jamison Williams as a deep threat.
Bro, like dude,
Still always have Laporta,
Jamison Williams
Amon-Ra.
is like their 5th option. That's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Like that's just nuts. That's just nuts to me. This is also Seattle's first loss of the season. They were 3-0 coming into this one. I still think they played okay.
Kenneth Walker though, did you see?
Bro, I almost
that,
got
like,
double
run
Kenneth Walker in
where
fantasy.
he should have was down.
Yo, he got tackled twice and remained up the entire time. It was crazy. He got
That was absolutely bonkers.
so Alex Anzalone, who's the linebacker for the Lions, tackled him and like threw him down like across his body. Walker stayed
Yeah, so
like
he
he
never hit the
landed
ground.
on him, and then like without like his forearm or anything else touching the ground, caught himself on the ground, stood up, and then Anzalone was still in a position where he could like wrap around him, and he flipped him on his head. Dude lands on his head and then rolls over without any part of his body touching the ground, and then keeps running. And I'm like, oh, dude, he was down. And they showed the replay, and he was not down at all. It was insane, crazy play. Yeah, I don't think
DK went off.
Yeah, I don't think the Seahawks played bad in this one. I almost got double Kenneth Walkered in fantasy, by the way. I was up like 40 in 2 different leagues, and the only player that the other person had was Kenneth Walker. And I literally had to sweat it out. I was like, I'm so ready for bed, blah, 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 whatever. And I had to stay up and watch that last drive of the game. I was like, they stopped him, right? And then they got the safety. I'm like, God damn it, I'm going to have to watch the rest of this game, aren't I? And I had to. I stood up and was pacing around like my apartment like an idiot.
Yeah. Dude, I will say on defense though, the rookie they have, the Lions, Terrion Arnold.
Yeah.
So many penalties.
Yeah.
Not looking good.
They'll have to get him
Potentially could have cost them that game.
I mean, he's a rookie. Like I get it, right? It's going to happen, but like clean it up sooner rather than later would be good for them.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, DK Metcalf is a bully, and he looks very unfun to guard. Because Carlton Davis, who's a veteran in this league, many years with the Bucks, right? He looked like he was having a miserable time guarding DK, and like he was playing really, really well against him, and like Metcalf was like shoving him and like pushing him and like playing in the refs and all this shit. But at the same time, a lot of it was like good physical football. I think there were a couple of times where I was like, all right, dude, Metcalf's getting away with like way too much here. Because I think Davis got flagged like 2 or 3 times yesterday on like PIs. But like Metcalf, I'll tell you what, like he looks so unfun to guard because he's like so fast and so big. Like, what do you do against a guy like that? Like, I'd be fucking terrified.
I think you just
I'd be terrified
to
guard him.
it.
Yeah, literally. All right, before we look ahead to week 5, Kyle, are you gonna give us a winner or what? Like,
we are so due.
The people need a winner.
I have spent researching, watching the film. There's never been a KBTs that I've never been more hyped for than this KBT. I've cooked it up in the laboratory. I have full confidence in it.
Let's hear it.
It is going.
I want to hear it.
I'm gonna put $100 on this parlay, on this team. Here we go.
Sam, if you're listening,
First,
please turn your ears off.
leg of the tease. Bills +5. They're gonna bounce back. The Texans, they are running string attack. Joe Mixon should still be a little hobbled. I think the Bills were embarrassed. I think they will come back and they will hopefully win, but they will at least keep it close. I know the Bills had like a crazy streak and that was broken where like they never lost more than 8 in like 30 games. But so I think I really like the Bills to keep it close.
They're playing home they're playing at
+5.
They're playing at
in Texans.
In Houston.
In Houston.
Texans -1 right now. Interesting.
Game. Texans -1?
Yeah, right now. According to Vegas.
What book? My book is Colts -1.
Well, I'm on Pro Football Reference, so I believe they use Vegas Insider.
We're going by the book I'm betting on, and it's +5.
Yeah. All right.
Because it's -1.
Right.
Next bet.
Bills plus
As I
5.
said, the Dolphins. Poopy, poopy, poopy. Look terrible. The Patriots, this is the kind of team that could take advantage of these poopy, poopy Dolphins. Give me the Pats plus 5. I think it's close. It's a divisional game. Pats are at home. I don't see these Dolphin team doing anything right now. I don't see that changing anytime soon. Plays right
Interesting.
into the Pats' strengths.
Very
Give me
interesting.
Pats plus 5. Next game. Give me the Packers plus 3 against the Rams.
Packers
The
plus
Rams
3.
not look that good. Cooper Kupp is still out. Puka Nakua is still out. Their defense isn't that good. The Packers, Jordan Love got his groove back second half of the game against the Vikings. Granted, a lot of it was garbage time. I think the Packers are really well coached, really well done. I think they're going to be looking to win. And I think if the Rams win, it's going to be close. And a field goal to push, I'll take that. Packers plus 3. And
Why
then
don't you
our
buy the
last
half a
game.
point then?
What? I won't buy because it's plus. Oh wait, I messed up. Everything I forgot. It's also plus a point, so it's Bills plus 6. I had a plus 6 teaser. It's always a plus 7 teaser on the KBT.
What
I
are you?
can't math. It's plus 6 Bills, plus 6 Pats, plus 4 Packers. Then our last leg,
I'm
Colts.
sitting here wondering why you're
at-
like, oh, plus 3 is a great bet. I'm like, no, it's fucking not. Like,
No, it's plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. I realized that because I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I had the wrong thing on.
I was like,
Anyway.
why didn't you just buy the half a point or buy the point?
You're right.
All right,
It's
go
always
ahead.
a 7-point teaser.
Last
Anyway,
leg. Last
the
leg. hit 'em.
last leg. I was torn between two things. I decided to go with the one that gives me a little more points, a little more leeway, which I have not been doing. Give me the Colts plus 9.5 at the Jags. I think the Colts, especially
How are the
if
Jags
they have
favored in
Joe
this one?
Flacco, because they're at home and they're desperate.
They're at home and they
think Andy
suck.
Richards is not playing. How are they favored? I do not know. But that's why I'm taking the Colts.
I agree with that.
Even without Jonathan Taylor potentially, Joe Flacco's
Oh,
a
yeah,
very
that's probably
competent
why.
quarterback. I think that if the Jags do win, I don't see how the Jags can win by more than a touchdown. So I really like Colts plus 9.5. I was torn between that and the Steelers, but the Steelers are favored and I would get less points. And the Steelers are known to like choke, so that's why I was like, I'd rather have the Colts. So that is the
Steelers are known to chuck.
KBTs.
Oh, okay. All right, hit him down the line one more time. Let's hear all 4.
ABTs. Number 5, the lock. I have to log in to place the bet to show it to the audience that I'm putting a hundo on it.
I'll tell you what though. In this Colts Jaguars game, Flacco over. Very good.
It's plus 175. We got the Bills plus 6.5. See, there's the slip. You can't really see it, but the slip is there. It's Bills plus 6, Pats plus 6, Packers plus 4, Colts plus 9.5. I've never been more confident in the KBT.
I love it.
In my life.
Give him a winner.
Please, Tail.
Give him a winner, Kai.
This is a winner.
Fight.
1 for 5. Put it in the books. Go to the bank and celebrate.
Don't give our
'Cause
audience
this is the KBT.
any more losers.
And
or
we're
I'll-
going to start
I'll have to step
on a
in.
roll. It took us a little bit of a warm-up. But we've learned from our mistakes. And we're about to give you we gave you a winner. We're about to.
We're not asking. Yeah. What was the from the Wolf of Wall Street? I don't ask you to judge me on my winners. I ask you to judge me on my losers because I have so few. Because I have so few of them.
This is a lock.
Yeah.
This is a lock of the century.
All right.
If you don't believe me,
take it to the bank
you're
according
losing
to
out.
Kyle. All right. Before we wrap up here, let's take a look at week 5. Let's see what we got on the schedule.
We got our first bye weeks.
Let's go to Thursday.
No
Bucks.
Lions, no Titans, no Eagles, no Chargers.
Yeah, first bye week. Only 14 games this week. So I guess I'm going 7-7 this week. Don't want to put that out there, but let's see what we got. Bucks Falcons Thursday night divisional game. I believe the Bucks are in first place, right?
The Bucks. It's still.
It might be tied. It might be tied.
Yeah, they are in first. They are in first. They're 3-1. The other Saints and Falcons are 2-2. Panthers are 1-3.
Yeah. That's a big one. Very big one. Man, Man, I don't know.
Atlanta's favored.
Yeah, they should be.
I like Atlanta.
The Bucks were they had it so easy last week, and I still can't tell if they're like that team anymore. I don't know. These NFC South games are always tough. They're always like close.
They're always very fun games. It should
They're-
be a really good game.
Yeah,
on
I'll
Thursday
probably
night,
lean Atlanta just because they're home. I don't know.
just because they're home.
We got the Jets and Vikings in London town, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. In London. I mean, is there any reason to pick New York in this game? I think we should just. Can we make an agreement to just pick Minnesota until they lose?
I think that's the case. I think
I think that
to.
should be the
I
case.
I low key kind of want to pick New York, but I can't after.
I mean,
after Saturday, I cannot.
I got too ballsy.
The QB, you can't bet against the QBS. Cubus.
The Cubus.
Cannot pick.
I got ballsy last week, and I know Green Bay did end up making it close, but like that game was over, man.
I also picked Green Bay as well, and I paid for it. You can't bet against the QBS.
No. Let's look
Fight.
around here.
Fight.
Ravens Bengals 1:00. That game's in Cincinnati. That's a big game for the Bengals. I guess it's really big for both teams, right? Because if you're Cincinnati, you lose, you go 1-4, and you're like really
That's really bad.
And if you're Baltimore,
Ravens, you go 2-3.
Yeah, and if you're Baltimore and you lose, you're 2-3, and you're tied with Cincinnati, who started 0-3. So it's like, and that's in a divisional game, and especially if the Steelers win, that's huge. So Ravens are -2.5. The over/under is 51. Man, I really want to take the over in this one. I think the over is going to hit. Because like 28-28.
50.5. That's high over.
It's high.
I like
high.
that. That's a good play.
It's high. I don't know. I think I take the over. I don't know if I take Cincinnati though. I don't really care if they're home or not. I don't know. I'd have to think about that one, man.
Yeah.
I can't commit on that. I can't give you the answers on that yet.
So
we got Bills and
Derrick
Texans.
Henry game incoming.
Yeah, I think so. Bills and Texans. Again, I'm really
go Bills.
Not sold on the Texans quite yet, especially if Mixon's going to be out again. I think he's on track to play, which I guess would really favor Houston because, like, as Kyle said earlier, that Bills run defense is hot garbage right now. Texans are the slight favorite. I know on your book you said the Bills are the slight favorite. Honestly, I think that one's going to end up being a pick'em. I think I take the Bills.
Basically, is anything less than 3 points is a pick'em.
I don't know, man. I mean, who's gonna guard Nico Collins? I might take the Texans. I don't know.
The Bills' pass defense is fine. It's their run defense is bad.
Yeah, but dude, the run opens up the pass, and then with the pass, you have so many weapons if you're the Texans. And they're home. I don't know. I'll have to think about that one. Let's see what else we got.
Raiders, Broncos. That's low key kind of
Raiders, Broncos. That one might be weirdly fun or weirdly boring.
Yeah, but like whatever. Cardinals, 49ers. The 49ers should win.
49ers should win that
we
one.
already talked about.
Giants, Seahawks.
Probably Seattle.
Probably Seattle. Cowboys, Steelers, Sunday night.
Probably.
That's an interesting little game right there in Pittsburgh. You got the Cowboys coming off the win, staying on the East Coast, going up against Pittsburgh's 3-1. Cowboys would drop to 2-3 if they lose this one. Steelers are -2.5. Over/under's 43. These games are typically close. Just looking at the history between these two teams, I don't think either team has won. Neither team has won by more than 5 points. Oh no, it still looks like Steelers won by 7 in 2008, but that's all the way back in 2008. So who gives a shit? You think the Steelers win?
Yes.
Is that a wish guess that the Cowboys lose, or is it a wish guess that you?
Cowboys are ass.
That's okay.
I'll stay on that.
That's what I thought.
Forever. Also, like, I mean, they got all the defense injuries.
Dude, that's the thing. It's like, is TJ Watt literally just gonna take over that game?
Steelers defense is legit. Steelers got embarrassed against the Colts. The Steelers never lose bad twice
Maybe
in
I picked
a row.
Pittsburgh. I don't know. You're talking me into that. You're making a lot of sense right now, Kyle.
I make a lot of sense.
Then
My job.
I know I was talking all this shit about New Orleans. I know. But they're at Kansas City.
His ass. I
They're
was right
at
all along.
Kansas City. Am I going to be brave enough to pick the New Orleans Saints in KC?
I might take them in the points. They're plus
Well, the
5
over
right
under in
now.
this one's 42.5. Honestly, the Chiefs defense has been their pride and joy in these last, honestly, couple of years, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So
I do concur.
if they scheme well, they should win, despite having like next to nothing to work with on offense. It's still Mahomes. It's still the Chiefs. They've won like 10 in a row at this point, going back to last year.
Mara's playing with broken ribs.
He's a tough
Taysom Hill
cookie.
got hurt.
He's a tough cookie, man.
He's a tough cookie. Number 1 running back in fantasy right now.
Kamara, yeah, I wanted him. Wasn't in a position to get him though. Yeah, I don't know.
This year in the fantasy community.
Let's see what the injury report is. Kamara's questionable. Olave questionable. Cedric Wilson questionable. Hill and Carr practiced in full. For the Chiefs, obviously Rashee Rice out for the rest of the season.
Is that official? Last I heard, they hadn't.
Oh no! I lied. He's not out for the rest of the season. But I think did they confirm that he tore his ACL yet?
They haven't confirmed yet if it's torn ACL.
Oh,
that's the prognosis, but there's too much swelling right now. They don't know for sure.
Let's see. Latest updates on the Chiefs wide receiver per USA Today.
Fantasy or whatever, like he's not going to play for the rest of the fantasy season.
The outlook was not positive following Monday's MRI. Reports broke that Chiefs feared he suffered a torn ACL. After further testing, per Adam Schefter, this was yesterday. After further testing on Rashee Rice's knee, there remains uncertainty over the extent of his injury per sources. After consulting with team doctors and receiving second options, more tests are required to determine the full extent of Rice's injury and his recovery time. So I guess he's not playing. He's not playing. I'd be shocked if he did. Yeah, I mean, I'd probably take KC. I probably just ride them until they lose, to be honest. I don't know if I'm going to be brave enough to call that one.
Same with the Vikings.
Yeah.
This is really good.
Honestly, at this point, I think you're right. All right, well, we'll see. We got a lot of action coming up week 4. There might be an announcement soon about some picks merch. We'll let you guys know about that. Working on a little project if y'all are interested. I will make an official post if you guys want some shirts. So we'll see about that.
Merch drop.
Kyle, you'll be going to a game in week 6. I'm announcing that I will be going
week 6 and week 7.
And week 7 back to back. Let's go.
Back to back. The Philadelphia Eagles.
So you'll have some live coverage from some Eagles games in week 6 and 7. You'll get another Eagles game in November. I will be going to Jerry World for the first time for Eagles Cowboys.
Hostile territory.
So I'll let you all into my little adventure in Dallas when that happens. Other than that, I think that's gonna wrap it up for us. Kyle, what do you got for us?
The KBTs is a lock, amigos. Put it in now before it's too late.
Take your money.
This is the night that we will remember. This is the night that the KBTs is real and goes off. This is the night.
God bless. All right, that's gonna do it for
forever.
That's gonna do it for us. I'm Matt. This is Kyle. This is the Picks Podcast. Tune in next week, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, PM. That is. We'll be right back here. Good night, everybody. Take care. God bless the KBTs.
Keep banging. Bing, bing. Bring guns back to the NFL.
Bring guns back. Yeah.
Bring them back. Second Amendment in the NFL.